Parents, teachers, guardians, and mentors. We can all agree you've got big shoes to fill, and it may feel like they're always getting bigger and more daunting. Welcome to Parenting Adventures, where we aim to be a beacon of support and knowledge for those navigating the complexities of parenting. Each episode, we bring on experts to walk us through the most pressing issues facing families, with evidence-based, practical strategies. And if school struggles are part of the puzzle, check out how Tutor Teach can help. Now, let's dive into the episode.
Have you ever wondered what really happens to your child's learning over the summer, and whether those kickback school-free days might actually be setting them back? I'm your guest host, Jacqueline Ivanc, and today we're sitting down with Lara Courtepatte to talk all things summer slide, and how parents can help their kids stay sharp, confident, and ready for fall. Lara is the co-founder of Tutor Teach and a passionate advocate for education. Raised in Edmonton in a bilingual household, Lara attended French school from kindergarten through post-secondary, earning her Bachelor of Arts from the University of Alberta, as well as a career diploma in public relations from MacEwan University. With a lifelong love of language arts, Lara began tutoring children in French long before she became a mom herself. After welcoming her own growing family, she was inspired to create learning plans not just for her children, but for other families too. That spark quickly grew into what is now Tutor Teach, a thriving community of instructors, families, and students all across Canada. In this episode, we dive into what the summer slide actually is, what subjects tend to suffer the most, and how learning loss affects more than just academics. It can impact confidence, motivation, and even attention spans come fall. We also tackle some common parent concerns around balancing summer fun with summer learning, and explore the unique advantages that summer tutoring can offer, sometimes even beyond what kids get during the school year. And of course, we'll walk you through what summer learning with Tutor Teach actually looks like and how it can be a game changer for your child's growth and success. If you're looking for simple, effective ways to keep your child learning without sacrificing their summer joy, stay tuned and stick around until the end for a special Summer Adventures promotion you won't want to miss. All right, Lara, let's just jump right into things. Could you start by explaining what exactly is the summer slide and which subjects tend to take the biggest hit over the break?
Yeah, so the summer slide is what we call the learning loss that happens over the summer. And this is when kids aren't regularly practicing what they've learned in school. It's something a lot of parents notice, especially when you get to September, and it feels like things just didn't stick. There's actually a really well-known study by a researcher named Cooper that dug right into this subject. So he looked at dozens of studies on summer learning and found that kids typically lose about 2 months worth of reading skills and even more when it comes to math. The reason that the math drops a little bit faster is because it's not something kids are exposed to naturally over the summer. And with reading, some kids have limited resources, and just because they may not have the accessibility to books or regular reading time at home, that's where they're going to feel the sting.
Wow, that's so interesting. I always remember in high school, I would come back from the summer and my math skills were just gone, but I still read and wrote perfectly fine, but math just never stuck. So how exactly does the summer slide impact kids and parents?
Yeah, so the impact can really show up in a few ways, both for kids and parents. So think back to when you went to school as a kid. I might age myself just a little bit here, but you walk up to the front doors of your school sporting your newest pair of Converse shoes, your Discman is blasting Smashing Pumpkins or whatever you listen to. You're on the lookout for your friends, excited to see who your homeroom teacher is, who's in your class, is there anyone new, you've picked out your best outfit for the day, and then you sit down and the teacher starts laying out what you can expect from the school year. This is where the rubber starts to meet the road for a student. Your summer memories are still at the top of your mind, but then there's this shift back to school kind of feeling somewhat alarming, or it suddenly hits you, and you're figuring out how to tackle what's to come. And it brings a surge of excitement, maybe a little bit of anxiety, maybe a little bit of both, and now what? We've all been there. Now it's our kids' turn. So for kids, the impact of not having formal learning at any level over the 8-week summer holidays often means starting the school year behind where they left off. So instead of picking up and moving forward, teachers might spend the first few weeks or even months just reviewing and helping kids catch up. That can feel frustrating for kids, especially if they're struggling with things they used to feel somewhat confident with, and even more frustrating for the kids who didn't have that confidence already built behind those concepts. For parents, on the other hand, it can mean added stress, especially when you see your child losing momentum or falling behind their peers. I've had parents tell me things like, My kiddo was flying through math in June, and now in September, it's like they've never seen fractions before. That sudden drop can catch families off guard. It can often lead to scrambling for tutoring, extra practice, worksheets, support during an already busy back-to-school season. It can also affect kids' confidence, which makes the transition even harder.
That's super interesting. I never really thought of how it would impact the parents. So bouncing off of that, what can parents do to help their kids stay sharp over the summer?
The key to helping kids stay sharp over the summer is making learning fun and adaptable for your family's routine. It doesn't have to feel like traditional schoolwork. You can incorporate learning through play, whether it's building with blocks, doing a scavenger hunt outside, cooking together, going to a park and talking about the measurement or angle of a slide. So many options. These are the kinds of activities that help reinforce skills like math, reading, in a more natural way, enjoyable. Sometimes the kids don't even notice that they're still learning when you do things like that. And then, of course, that's where Tutor Teach comes in. We're really adaptable and can teach in any environment. Whether it's inside on a rainy day or we're outside enjoying some sunshine, we understand that summer schedules are busy. I have 4 kids. I completely understand how busy it is. But that's why we offer flexible scheduling to help families stay on track without disrupting the fun day-to-day of the summer season. Our goal is to keep kids engaged and learning, but in a way that works for each family's summer routine. So it doesn't feel daunting or burdening to keep the learning going. It feels like it fits right into your already curated summer plans.
That's so awesome that learning doesn't have to feel like learning. I think that would have really helped me stay interested in learning over the summer when I was a kid. So what advice would you give to parents whose children are resistant to extra learning in the summer? How might they reframe it in a positive, empowering way?
I'd say totally normal. That's completely expected. Kids push back on anything that might sound like school in the summer. It's counterintuitive to keep schooling over the summer. But it helps to shift the language and the approach. So instead of calling it tutoring or extra work, frame it as time to explore cool topics, build confidence, or even get ahead so that the school year feels less daunting and maybe a lot easier. Keep it short, consistent, fun, like learning outside with a smoothie in hand or playing a math game instead of doing a worksheet. When kids feel like they have some level of control and it's not about punishment or pressure, they're way more open to it.
Those are some really good ideas, and I think the short little bursts of learning can make learning much more enjoyable for the kids. So what are some of the unique benefits of summer learning, especially through tutoring, that families might not expect? And how can it even offer something school year learning doesn't?
Summer learning, especially through tutoring, has unique benefits that families might not expect. So first of all, something that comes to mind, it's a great opportunity for more personalized attention. Just like while we tutor through the school year, when there's fewer students and distractions around, tutors can focus on exactly what your child needs without the pressure of a full classroom, the distractions like I just mentioned. It's also a chance to tackle areas that might get overlooked during the school year. Tutors can work on building confidence in subject kids find challenging or even dive deeper into the areas that they're most interested in. Plus, because there's no strict curriculum to follow, the pace is more relaxed, more adaptable. Kids can learn at their own speed without the stress of deadlines or tests.
That's awesome. I know as a kid, I liked to play soccer outside when the sun was out, so I can only imagine that if a tutoring session kind of roped that in, how much more I would have really enjoyed my tutoring sessions. So for anyone listening wondering where they can find more information on avoiding the summer slide, how can they get started with Tutor Teach and where can they do that?
Absolutely. So for anyone listening who wants to learn more about avoiding the summer slide and how they can get in with Tutor Teach, first of all, go to our blogs. We have blogs about this that really dive into those studies that I mentioned earlier and just show kind of the learning loss that children are very vulnerable to during the summer. So definitely take a look at those blogs, which you can find on tutorteach.ca. You'll also find tons of tips and resources there. You can also connect with us on social media. We're on Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram at Tutor Teach Official. And you can reach out directly to us to continue the conversation at info@tutorteach.ca. Also, for anyone listening, we've put together something super special for you, our exclusive Summer Adventures special. These summer packages are designed to make learning fun, flexible, and stress-free. Head to summer.tutorteach.ca to check them out and get started.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Lara, for all these insights. And I hope our listeners can get something and learned a lot about the summer slide and ways they can prevent it.
Thanks so much for having me as a guest. I hope that I did all of our other guests justice and that parents can take something away from this. I'm very passionate about continued learning over the summer. It's a gift that we can give our kids to help them not only in their skills and confidence. I strongly encourage parents to really, really consider how to fit that into their busy summer schedule.
That's it for this episode of Parenting Adventures. Thanks for listening. We hope it gives you that extra bit of confidence that you need to conquer the road ahead. And if you're looking for academic support to ensure your kids thrive in school, visit tutorteach.ca to learn how we're here for families just like yours. We'll see you in the next episode.